It doesn't exist. Now, it was a seasonal thing. They did it for the state fair. And I sit there and I go, so if it did well during the state fair and you were selling shirts and you've been doing this every year, why would they not be on your website available for purchase every single day? Can you really afford to turn that money away? Look at this stuff, guys. As we're talking about brands and we don't do it, here's Craig Carton. Here's a local blogger in Philadelphia who's built a nice niche for himself, Crossing Broad. These guys are selling shirts. Crossing Broad, for example, the second the Eagles won the Super Bowl, shirts start getting created. And within 2 days, they've got the Philly special. They've got Philly Philly. I'm thinking to myself, how the heck are these guys able to do it? They don't have a staff that we do, but they're seizing the moment. And it doesn't matter if they make 10 grand or if they make 100 grand. Can you guys afford not to take 10 grand? Like, we would be in an advertiser meeting talking about how to do branded content, but all we have to do is be creative with some of the things we're doing on our own air. Merchandising is free money. And by the way, if your customer doesn't want it, you don't create it. I mean, there are ways right now you can create t-shirts without ever ordering t-shirts. It just comes down to you only order them when people want them. Here's a few others. Clay Travis does this extremely well. Whether you love or hate the guy, if you're a fan of his product, every freaking time he does something on the air that catches on. When he did the appearance on CNN, and he talked about, I believe, in the First Amendment and boobs, right? And everybody was killing for it. The next day, t-shirt available for First Amendment and boobs. Obviously, he went into that appearance knowing he was going to hit that because he knew he was going to sell a product. If it's making you money, I don't see why we wouldn't do that. This is the one that really caught my attention. So why is it that Barstool Radio can capitalize off the image of Mike Francesa in WFAN and not WFAN? How is that possible? Have you guys seen the Francesa-con stuff that he used to do when he was on the air? You have a room full of people, a couple thousand people, wearing #1 shirts at an event. They're all there to support Mike Francesa. They're all loading the pockets of Barstool. I'm sitting there going, how is the fan not making the money on this? That's back to being creative and taking advantage of the stuff you do on your air. And sometimes you have to think about the slogans, the catchphrases that your guys say on the air. You know, like whether it's who you crapping, or whether it's, you know, something that Toucher and Rich do, or something that Fesco does when he gets his, you know, gets all fired up. Whatever the case may be, those things become part of the culture and part of the conversation with your local audiences. And when they're on shirts, people love that stuff. Here's a couple examples I put together just thinking about the last 2 months where there was opportunity. So in New York, Don LaGreca a few weeks ago, he went like 60 plus days without a rant. And he's having a debate with Rosenberg and Kay. And while he's talking, the microphone starts to fall. And he goes off, he's losing his mind, the clip went viral. And he storms out of the studio and he's yelling at Michael Kay, "Fix that!" And I'm just thinking, as it happened, I'm like, that's a shirt. That's Don LaGreca's image of being disgruntled, holding a microphone, and fix that.